Let's go, guys. I'm playing a Spine of Industry as a land. And the Dark Noob plays Sunken Hollow. And Benova plays land. Bastibajak plays Arcane Sanctum. And I play a forest then, tapping them for Arcane Signet. Dark Noob taps for Heartless Summoning. Creature spells he cast cost 2 less to cast, and creatures you control get. And Benova plays a Swamp and a Swiftfoot Boots and passes the turn. Bastivajak plays Choked Entry. And I draw a perfect card, but now I play a land and tap them for Sword of the Animist. Dark Noob plays a Swamp and later on taps 2 and plays Jon Irenicus, his commander, and taps 1 Phyrexian Negator. Whenever Phyrexian Negator is dealt damage, sacrifice a permanent for each 1 damage dealt to it. And on his end turn, with Jon Irenicus, he gave it to me and gives 2 +1/+1 counters to the given creature. And I complain about, what are you doing? And next turn, Benova plays Commune with Nature. You cannot see it because it's under the card. And passes the turn. And Bastibajak taps 2 for Arcane Signet and passes the turn. And I tap for 3 mana and play Chaos Warp to Phyrexian Negator. Target permanent shuffles back to his library and opens the top card. And we all hoping for he will get a worse creature or something permanent. And gets an island. So we are discussing here if it gets tapped or untapped. I say untap. And he taps 1 Phyrexian Soul Gorger. He has cumulative upkeep, sacrifice creature. Plays a Heuristic Study. Later on, he gives it to Benova. Benova plays a Woodland Cemetery. Taps, enters untapped because of he has forest. And later on taps for 4 mana and plays Parallel Lives. If an effect would put 1 or more tokens on the battlefield, it enters twice or happens twice. And now Bastibajak Path to Exile to the creature and pass the turn Benova. And Bastibajak plays Charismatic Conqueror and passes. And it's my turn. I untap Greyfist gracefully. And I decide to play an equipment. I play a Hero Blade and I have 2 mana with a Signet. I tap 2 and at this time the Dark Noob asks me to, are you paying for 1? And I play no, I say no and play Hero's Heirloom and pass the turn. And Dark Noob plays Dark Ritual. Taps 1 mana and adds 3 mana to the mana pool. And oh, he's not tapping one. Elemental. Desecration Elemental. And he decided they're not getting tapped. And Charismatic Conqueror creates creatures. And plays Ebon Drake. And plays Fateful Handoff. Draw cards equal to mana value of target creature you control. Picks Ebon Drake. And gives Ebon Drake to Bastabajak and gives it to Benova. Taps 3 and plays Bastion of Remembrance. And decides fighting with me, declares attack to me, and I just eat it because I have no defense. And since not paying, Charismatic Conqueror creates more creatures and passes the turn. And he taps 2 and 3, and plays Collective Effort and also escalates it. Heuristic Study destroyed and Jon Irenicus. And also puts +1/+1 culture on each creature he controls. Later on, attacks with a goaded creature to Benova and passes the turn. And I draw and play a Rootbound Crag land. And now, finally, I have 5 mana and tap them all and play the hero, Cloud X-Soldier. Everybody's chanting here. And I decide which to equip. I equip Sword of the Animist with Cloud's trigger, and with Hero's Blade trigger, it automatically gets with Cloud, and attack to Dark Noob. I apply the triggers, I draw a card, and I look for basic land, which enters tapped. And I'm creating 2 treasures because of Cloud. More than 7. It's 8 actually. And now I count the commander damage and passing. Turn 5. Dark Noob taps for 4 or 3, I couldn't see. Enchanted Cloud, Parasitic Impetus. Gets +2/+2 and it's goaded. When it attacks, control loses 2 life. And the other player gains life. And passes the turn. Benova needs to lose life because of Ebon Drake. Whenever I play a replace spell, lose 1 life. So we decide to how many to lose. And because of Bastion of Remembrance, everybody loses life. And attacks with goaded creature to me. And I eat the 10 because I have no other creature. Cloud is tapped. And passes the turn. And Bastabajak plays Oketra's Monument and attacks with all soldiers to Dark Noob. And with this, attacks to Benova. With all the lifelink from the soldiers, Bast Bajak gains life. Actually 8 life, I think. And passes the turn. And now it's my turn. I play a Canopy Vista. And because I have 2 or more basic benefits untapped. Right now I play a Mask of Memory. And deciding if I should equip the artifacts or not, because I had to hit my friends here, not the enemy. Common enemy. And I'm thinking I shouldn't equip them, but he says, Dark Noob says, one way or another you have to put them. And I'm deciding to hit whom. Calculating. I decide not to equip and play equipment. Trailblazer Boots, which is non-basic landwalk. And I didn't equip it. I should have. 10 commander damage goes to the Bast Bajak. Because I decided we have to equalize our lives. We shouldn't be die. And I get 2 treasures, 1 card draw from Cloud. Yeah. And my card is Ultimate Magic Meteor. I foretell it because I decide I shouldn't destroy all the creatures. And I pass the turn. Dark Noob looks around, taps and plays Jon Irenicus. And things. Plays Plague Reaver. At the beginning of end step, you have to sacrifice a creature. And we are calculating Bast Bajak's Ebon Drake. Whenever play a spell, you lose 1 life. And Dark Noob plays Infernal Grasp, destroy target creature. Destroyed Charismatic Conqueror, which was a great defense. And loses 2 life. And gives Plague Reaver to Bast Bajak. And he says, if I don't draw a land, next turn I give concede. And passes the turn. Benema plays a Sol Ring. And Bast Bajak gets 1. Benema plays Deadly Dispute. Draws 2 cards and creates a treasure. And has to sacrifice a creature. And then taps 2 Thornwald Forager. And later on, Bast Bajak conceded because he couldn't draw a land. And we allow Jon Irenicus. That's the main reason. We just enjoy. And at my turn, I equip Hero's Heirloom to the Cloud. At this point, I decide to... Well, I needed to give damage, but With my remaining mana, I just tap 4 and play Aerith Last Ancient. Has lifelink and raise. And now I cannot use it. I tap Cloud and attack to Benova because it's goaded thanks to the Dark Noob. I attack, I draw a card, I get treasures, and I hit. Now I sack treasures and equipped Trailblazer's boots. There is no space. And I sack all treasures almost and equip them. Possibly I made a mistake. I should have sacked all. Anyways, with Sword of the Animist, I search for a land and shuffle and pass the turn to Dark Noob. And he gives me a demonic taskmaster. At the beginning of upkeep, sacrifice a creature. And he passes the turn. And Benova plays Toski, Bearer of Secrets. Indestructible, can't be countered. And yeah. And attacks me, and I hold it with Demonic Taskmaster. And Demonic Taskmaster dies, goes back to the Dark Noob, and passes. In my turn, I draw a card, which is great for me. I play my land plains, and after that, I tap my manas, play Kate Sith, Fortune Teller, which is at the beginning of combat of your turn, scry, then exile, and you may play this card and also give target creature a CMC level of exiled card. So you give power, basically. Because I took Soul Ring, I scried it back to the grave, and I got Decimate, which is 4 mana. Now it's 16-10 and goes to, unfortunately, Benova because of code. And then because of the 16 damage, it passes 21 and it's a bye for Benova. And now I play Decimate, because why not? I tap, destroy target artifact, creature, enchantment, and land. I start destroying. And I decide which land to destroy. And Signet is not a land. Common mistake. And Saknolan goes. And I pass the turn to Dark Noob. Dark Noob plays Blighted Agent and Baleful Strix, flying Death Touch. But he has no idea I have Trailblazing Boots. I draw a card, Evolving Wilds, play it. And on my attack, at the beginning of my attack, scry 1. And it's a land, bro. And I exile my card, which is Lifestream's Blessing, 6 CMC. It hits 18 damage, 18 commander damage. And first he says, let's do Parasitic Impetus, and we do that. And then he saw that he ate 7 damage before the goaded one. And now I play Livestream's Blessing instant. Draw X cards, and where X is the greatest creature's power, and if it's exiled, get double. And it is the win.